Well, hello there, ladies.
What's up?
How are we today?
Fantastic.
Tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I feel like I haven't been home in forever. And then I'm home this weekend, but I have to live stream a race at the Motorplex. So that's like, but anyway, sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not far for you though. It's not like you're getting on a plane.
No, that's exactly it. That's good. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be fine. It's gonna be great. Everything will be lovely.
Fine.
So yeah. So what in the hell is going on with the racing world this week? We have so many things to talk about, including we are going to talk about the 242 miles an hour that the Durana hybrid boat went also at Lake of the Ozarks, which is what? But we'll get to that. But yes, the racing world is like went into full, I don't know, mode this week. Like,
it's
dude,
nasty.
What the hell? Yeah.
It's dirty. It's the fallout, the nuclear fallout of when one section of our sport dies and everybody just pounces on it. And then those people just start pouncing back on everything else that's been going on. It's so nasty.
It is.
There's a certain promoter that does events in Georgia, and I'm not going to give him credit by saying his name.
Yeah.
But he's a window licker, in my opinion.
He
just keeps on just stabbing the knife in it, and it's like, listen, you can't be doing that to a part of racing. It's like, if you don't agree with the track, don't get on social media and bitch about the track, because there's only so many tracks in the country. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And so why are you going to disparage racers? You know,
right? And
I watched part of the video with Sean, and they were blindsided by it. They were,
yeah.
So
and
I mean,
if you live under a rock, what we're talking about is the demise of Speed Promotions, which was the production company that was putting on the events after the demise of NPK. So again, if you've lived under a rock, Street Outlaws, the show that's been around forever, Discovery Channel, all those things. They started the No Prep Kings, which was just a big festival event that went on for 2 or 3 nights, and they sold jillions of tickets all over the place. And then Discovery decided they didn't want to do anything car related anymore and hacked out everything, including No Prep Kings. And then
raise your mic volume. You're low. Raise your mic volume.
Oh, okay. And then the after that, what happened was they ended up going with a whole new, I shouldn't say format, but making a new show that was a live show that was supposed to replace NPK, and it did not do very well apparently, and now they are gone as well. So what is that he who licks windows and shall not be named, what is he saying about it?
Oh, he's just calling them Cheeto eaters, and I mean, he's just spewing stuff out there and basically making fun of them. But you know, they got to find a new place to race and blah blah blah. You know, I see Keith's in the audience there. What's up, Keith? You know, Sean's got a pro mod ride. He's been successful with it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of those guys can drive. They just chose they came up through street racing and no prep. And I don't think this is the death of no prep. I think this is I think some of the stardom went away. And when the stardom went away, what you lost, and you and I, well, all three of us, we've been to a lot of no prep events.
Oh yeah.
And your organic person that went to those no prep events weren't racers. They were fans. Most of them didn't even have, they might have had a street rod, but I mean, they didn't have, you know, fast cars or anything like that. And so I think they lost the promotion side of it, which in turn turned to lower audience count. And hey, right, you're home. but I mean, that's my opinion. And I think they'll still live. I think it'll live on. I think somebody will come up with something. If anything,
Well,
it might make Outlaw Armageddon great again, which is
true.
coming up. Which used
Yeah.
to, I mean, if you look at the first no prep that was televised, that was videoed Outlaw Armageddon way back in let me think about this for a second. Maybe 2016, maybe no 2017, I think. They used a lot of footage from that race, and it used to because they was all local to a lot of those 405 guys, and the Texas guys didn't have to drive far for it. And I mean, that was a packed race. I mean, you filmed it one year or announced it one year, Chad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, and it used to get a lot of cars, and it's kind of gone downhill a little bit. But I think that might help that a little bit. And it's going to be at Tulsa this year, but I bet it returns to Thunder Valley next year. And shout out to Thunder Valley because Big Mark's stepped in, and a couple other people have resurrected that track back from what we thought was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. That's also on my list of things.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, the thing about anytime something falls apart, it's bad for racing. I hate seeing anybody have something that fails. I want all racing to succeed at every level. And I hate it. I know some of those guys, personally, and I hate seeing that they put all that work and effort, but it's like life. All good things must come to an end. And then, then you rebuild and change course and reverse course. And they're always going to be doing something in racing. There's no doubt about it. So I know they'll bounce back, but I hate seeing it end for them. When it comes to no prep and radial racing, I mean, like I love both. I mean, I watched Keith Haney and all those guys kill it. I love watching No Mercy, Lights Out. I love watching those. I've never been to one. I want to go to one. I just never have. I don't like to spectate that much. So, if I watch it, I'm watching it at the house. But I enjoy it, and I enjoy the atmosphere at all. I enjoy the atmosphere at No Prep because it reminds me of the streets, and that's where I cut my teeth. So, a lot of those guys are from the streets, are at those races, so it's very familiar to me. There's a place for everybody. Everybody's going to talk. There's certain people that are going to talk shit, run their mouth or whatever about this, that, and the other. And the fact of the matter is there's one guy in particular, because some of that back and forth actually shifted, and some of those guys started talking crap about stuff within No Prep right now. Little Gangsters is a huge class. It's growing like crazy. I mean, there were 58 cars in that class at Doomsday a weekend ago,
Which is hilarious, by the way. I mean, I love Jimmy. I mean, I love him,
Yeah.
Tom, to death. Like, he's a great dude, all those things. I love the class. I have nothing but love for all of it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing new about it.
No.
Everybody acts as if it is somehow this magical recipe.
Yeah.
What? Because you made a class that has an index and requires a 10.5 tire?
It's
Like
all
the 450,000 other, events that have had that for literally 25 years.
yeah.
The reason I say that, again, not to bag on the class, because the class is awesome and I love it.
Yeah.
But because you got somebody like Tom, like Jimmy Dale, to go out there and, he said, I'm going to do this. And everybody said, no way. And he went out using his style and his attitude and all those things, which we all know well, to get excitement around a thing everybody said wouldn't work, and get all the people that said it wouldn't work to do it and love it. Like, so it's hilarious,
It's all about,
because make no mistake, just because the scoreboard doesn't light up with an ET doesn't mean you're doing anything but index racing.
right.
Because it would be no different if you just had an index class and the scoreboards were on. It would be zero difference whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So, just so everybody's on the same page here.
Here's the other thing. Kudos to Ryan and I forget, it was Sean. Ryan and Sean. They turned the clocks on. They turned the fucking clocks on. And those are not slow times.
No.
365s side by side. Yeah. I mean, that's getting it. I mean, steel roof and quarters.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, and so let's be real clear here on a couple of the things to do with that. So, number one, those guys race all over the place, other places. They have typically not driven those same cars, but their other cars with the same combos make those, run those kind of numbers. Like, anybody in the know knows that those cars are all, 350s, 60s, 70s, 80s cars, right? And that is fast. Like you said, that is real legit fast. Anybody that ever said, oh, those guys don't have the times on because they're not fast is full of it. They're hauling ass. That's legit. But here's one deal. Everybody's been real hung up on the steel roof and quarters deal right now. And I understand, but I can tell you that, like, Larson's Chevy 2, which is the lightest car he's ever built. Ever. Not for himself, but period. For any customer, for anybody. He's never built a car that lightweight. And it has a steel roof and quarters. And the steel roof and quarters only weigh about double what a carbon roof and quarters would. And I can tell you that a carbon roof and quarters are like 10 pounds. Okay. So trust me that the steel roof and quarters, as much as they're stripping them down, isn't the biggest deal in the world. But what is the bigger deal is the fact that those No Prep Kings cars, right, were required to have a wheelbase within either 2 or 3 inches of stock, if I remember right. And so, like, Kai Kelly's, 3rd gen Camaro,
that's 112. That's 110 or 112 from the factory.
No, a 3rd gen Camaro short. It's only like 106, I think. Let me look. I'm looking it up.
I thought they were longer. 2nd gens are 108.
1st gens are 108. I know that. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so 101 inches is a 3rd gen Camaro wheelbase. Yes. So they are short. Mm-hmm. And so the thing about it is that that's where the big difference is. So here's what's interesting. I had a really good conversation with Brandon Pez at the $125,000 to win Pro Mod race that I was announcing a couple weeks ago at IHRA. All of those cars, when they leave, they've all got the wheels up, which is not as, common in a regular traditional, like an NHRA Pro Mod, let's say. Well, that's because the only way for the wheelbase not to matter is to get the front end off the ground, right? Because then you've got all the weight still sitting on that back tire, whereas in a traditional Pro Mod that's got a 112-inch wheelbase, they can, get the front end to be up in some travel and still have a ton of weight on the back, but with the front end on the ground. So that's what makes those steel roof and quarters cars more exciting, is the wheels are in the air and they tend to be walking around on the racetrack more, which, makes them super fun to watch. Now, Barn is saying in the chat that he has seen a buzz about that Daryl Cuttle, who is the owner of the IHRA, is apparently putting a class for those guys for next week's IHRA race. So if that's the case and they gave them a place to race, they will all be there, because the guys that have run NPK and then came and raced at IHRA, those guys are all in love. IHRA treats people like rock stars in all the right ways, and all those guys are loving it. So I guarantee you that a bunch of them would show up if they gave him a place to race and a real purse to win,
Oh
which
yeah.
I can't imagine Daryl wouldn't do because that's
Dean,
what he does. You know,
Dean. I mean, it sucks that he wrecked the Firebird because that was probably
I
one of the
know.
coolest cars out there. But he's been very outspoken about IHRA
Oh
and
yeah.
how they take care of the racers and everything else.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, Dean in his own right was a great sportsman racer as well before he joined what somebody would call the circus. Um,
absolutely.
but and he's a great personality for IHRA because
He is.
he's the same whether you're in his motorhome or in his pit as he is with the public. I mean, that's
Oh
just.
yeah,
I mean, he's kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't call him John Force, but I would say he's kind of got that personality, kind of like a Clay. He's more like a Clay,
yeah. More
you
like
know.
Clay, yes. And he's
Uh,
great. I've known Dean for years, and he's awesome. He used to come and race at the Spring Fling Million and all those things
yeah,
before it was the Million even. Um, he's just a great guy, and yeah, he's been very complimentary about the IHRA, and um, it's been entertaining because um, he he's been really honest about all the things that are good, and you know Daryl and all of the staff over there, Doug and all of them, they've been really good about listening to the racers. And so they're talking to these racers after events and going, okay, what did you love and what did you hate, and what are we just all good on? And they've really been taking that to heart and making minor adjustments here, there, and everywhere. That, I mean, could it be that an IHRA national event or Nitro Outlaw Nitro event is the event that brings NPK and mainstream drag racing together? I mean, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
oh, I think it'd be absolutely awesome because you got the personalities from the MPK guys, you got the excitement of the cars, plus Nitro, plus everything else. I mean, he's smart to put a class together for him. Absolutely, that's and there's no question that Daryl's got his shit together. Obviously, um, going 242 miles an hour in a boat, I don't think is the smartest thing in the world, but um, but I mean,
Yeah,
kudos to him for doing it. But I think that you're going to see a lot of guys transition over, and it will be a good thing. It will, and I you know, hopefully, the no speed promotions is just a minor hiccup in things, and it's just not at an IHRA event. It's going to be a pro mod style class, and it's not going to be a no prep. So you're not going to
right.
get as thrills and spills, quote unquote, that you would at a no prep. But at the same time, if it gives them a place to race, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which I mean, kind of puts us at our next thing, which is IHRA flagship event. I proposed the question that, you got the big go happening right now,
Yep.
up in Indy. And if you've never been, you should go because it's pretty impressive. It was even more impressive when they had the All-Stars up there
Yeah.
every year. But what kind of flagship event can IHRA put together like the big go? Because, I mean, you get people from I have friends from Washington State that go just to Indy because, there's something about winning Indy which is greater than winning any other event. So,
Right.
I mean, what are they going to put
I
together?
don't think it's possible. And here's why I say that. Indy is Indy because of its age as much as its size. They decided it was going to be the big giant event a million years ago, and they've been doing it for so long that it's the big go, and it's the one of the oldest events. Okay. um it is in all of drag racing, and so I think that it's taken decades. I mean, it was a big deal 30 years ago, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a big deal 50 years ago the same as it is now, right? So I'm
Well,
not sure that IHRA can just go snap their fingers and have an event that means as much as the U.S. Nationals. But at the same time, I don't think they need to. But I won't go into that until we all talk about the rest of it. What do
But
you
look,
think, Ryan?
What was that?
What do you think? Do you think that IHRA can put an event on that's as big as the U.S. Nationals?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just all it takes. All it takes to do something is put your mind to it, and if you have the key players, it will build itself. So I think that IHRA is making big moves right now, and I without a doubt, I know that they're going to make some pretty awesome strides. And if they add MPK with it, it's going to just the MPK guys is going to be awesome. So and Dean's like he was saying, Dean's already been really pushing the IHRA and I don't know, man. I mean, there's reasons that things happen the way they do, and some of it is just happen chance, and some of it's planned. And I think that the things are happening for a reason, and it's going to be bigger and better things for those guys in the long run. But it's going to be bigger and better for the fans. You know what I mean? Because it ultimately, the thing that when they were at Beach Bend, when the MPK, whatever they were calling it, speed promotions deal was at Beach Bend. One thing I noticed is that there was hardly anybody in the stands.
Right.
You didn't fill the seats,
No.
and I asked myself, is TV that important? That because to me, like I don't care whether they were on TV or not. If I could go to one, I was going to go to one. If I couldn't, I wouldn't. But it didn't matter whether they were on TV or not. So it just kind of blew my mind. I was like, man, the TV show goes away, and it's like everybody's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
well, and that's all part of the BS also of the world that everybody says TV doesn't matter because they only watch stuff online, streaming, and then they say that out of one side of their mouth, and the next thing it's oh, I watch NPK every I don't know.
Well, I mean, also, Ryan, you're probably the 5%er that's in that stance.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, right. the rest of those guys, they were loyal people that just didn't. They were car people. They liked racing, but they were kind of like the NASCAR.
Watching it.
They like the personalities,
not participators.
Yes, yeah. And I'll push back on you, Chad, because Wes Buck put together the World Series of Pro Mod, and it's became a marquee event in a short amount of time.
Yeah, that is true. But the only reason for that, well, there's two reasons, in my opinion. Number one is because there was a big giant check associated with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why a bunch of the people came out. That's why like Bowman went and won it. Bowman would have never been at any other event like that ever if it wasn't for the big payout. You know what I mean? Because he just doesn't race that kind of races. But so I think that's number one. Number two, Wes Buck. Jesus Christ, that dude could sell shit to a pile of shit. Like, I don't understand it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I do not, but he is, there is nobody on earth that is a better cheerleader for themselves, because Wes will go, I have this idea, and it could be the most mediocre idea in history, but he will tell everybody that it's the greatest idea in the history of mankind, and every single person will be excited about it, because that's what he does. And I don't know how he pulls it off, but he does it, and I love him for it because it's infectious, right? But
that is the reason.
You're right. I mean, it has happened. Yes.
That is the reason that IHRA should hire Wes Buck. I'll go on record saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wes will never leave the comfort of NHRA. He's too. I mean, I know he doesn't work for NHRA, but he's too NHRA centric. He doesn't do anything else but them. So,
yeah.
That would be my fear anyway. But I know a lot of guys that could do the same thing for IHRA. But hell, the three of us could do it for IHRA, no question. But it's going to be interesting to see how IHRA decides to do this, because right now they're putting on a bunch of big events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're doing, like, they did the 125,000 to win pro mod race, right? So that was a special little thing. They're doing little special things here and there, and then all the other events are at the same level. So yeah, I mean, when do they need to do that, do you think? Is that something that they need to start working on now, or do they wait a couple years?
I think that, well, they put out their schedule for 2026 already, which was very
Yep.
smart.
Yep.
I think that they need to put a marquee event out for 2026 from like a year from now. And when I say a marquee event, it might be a 250K to win pro mod or whatever it is. I mean, just
Right.
it has to be something that blows it out of the water. Okay.
Yeah.
Their purses are good. They're getting people back, and
Yep.
the feedback's positive.
Yep.
I mean, it's just all positive stuff, but it's people. I mean, listen, I mean, IHRA went through some hard years through a couple different people managing it.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, it's kind of like, the bad years of some auto manufacturer vehicle, and you don't want to go back to them because you just have that bad taste in your mouth. So it's going to take, there's no quick fix to get, 800 cars on a premises for an IHRA event. It's going to be a
Right.
slow roll. It's got to be organic. It's got to be, a lot of marketing and put out there and a lot of word of mouth in order for it to happen.
I agree. And some the Bass Knuckler said IHRA needs a major sponsor, which Barn said, oh no, they do have one coming. It just hasn't been announced publicly, which is, from what I understand, that is true. They've done some teasing on that as well. So I do not know who it is, but I have heard the same thing, that there is a big announcement coming. And let's not forget one thing. Unlike everybody else that does this, so Durana Hybrid, which is the company that Daryl Cuttle owns, which, by the way, has nothing to do with electric or hybrid vehicles of any kind. It's a construction company. It has nothing to do with anything vehicle related. Um, anyway, they are hybrid in the sense of how their construction company is structured. There are no subs. They do everything. And when I say everything, they don't build houses. They build international airports and stuff, right? Like, so the reason I bring this up is Durana Hybrid is a multi-billion-dollar company, okay? Um, and at any one time has cajillions of dollars worth of projects going on around the world. Um, so if they were the only sponsor, which is Daryl's company, they would still have a huge sponsor, and I'll bet it's bigger than whoever they're going to announce. Just saying. But obviously, getting sponsors on board is a big deal, and I'm glad to hear it. So very glad to hear
It's good for racing.
it. It is. It is.
As long as everybody's
So
racing, it's good.
yes.
Just race.
So here's the other part. So Daryl is an absolute, I mean, he's insane, okay? That's what he is. He's absolutely insane. Now Daryl has owned a bunch of fast cars, or some, I should say, fast cars. Um, people have built him, he's owned pro mods and all kinds of stuff. But right here, he's wheeling that boat on Lake of the Ozarks, the boat that's not hardly touching anything. That boat slash airplane went 242 miles an hour to set the new record for Lake of the Ozarks. And I watched it go down. I was sitting in an airport going, holy crap. So I know people that have worked on this boat and what have you. It used to be the Spirit of Qatar or whatever back in the day. He, you know, I I don't know if he owns the boat now or just driving the boat. Um, it did say Durana hybrid and IHRA all the way down the side. Barn will tell me here in a minute. But the thing is that the it has twin 4,000 horsepower turbines in it. And before anybody goes, no, somebody already went 244 miles an hour on Lake of the Ozarks. You are correct. In fact, it was this same hull with different engines in it. And that was in a mile. The new course is only 3/4 of a mile so that they can slow them down and so that they can slow down, okay, that they have enough room. So this thing went 242 miles an hour in 3/4 of a mile. And at the end of the 3/4 of a mile, started slowing down and then hung a hard left turn because there's land in front of you. And I couldn't believe how fast it was going when it turned. It was insane. And, okay, Barnes says he owns it. Andy's insane. And it's only the 3rd time he's ever driven it.
Wow. Well, I mean, let's face it. You get one of those boats, you just kind of just push the levers forward and just hang on. I mean,
I don't remember who the throttleman was, but yeah, you got a guy riding shotgun, giving it all the beans, and then you're just steering that son of a bitch. Nope, I'm out. Got no desire. None whatsoever. I'll go 242 tonight on land. Ain't getting my fat ass in a boat going 242 mile an hour. Just not happening.
No, I've been 105 on the water, and I felt like I was going to go into another dimension.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Daryl's got steel balls, and they clank and they call him Sparky.
Yeah, yeah. He carries them around in a wheelbarrow in front of him. It's exactly right. Yeah. That is right up there with Top Fuel Harley crazy. Like,
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that's up there. I'll give you that.
I've been over 100 mile an hour on the water, like barely over 100 mile an hour, and it was 255,000 miles an hour is what it felt like. Okay, because I was in a jet boat that was, where your elbow is feeling the sprinkles because you're only a foot off the water. No.
Yeah. Nope, I'm good. I'm too old for that shit, Riggs, as they would say. I'm too old. No way.
Nope. Okay, so since we're on this, everybody in the chat, now I want everybody to chime in. Tell us one thing you would not race. Put in the chat one thing you would not race. So I've already said not racing a boat that goes that fast. And not going to ride a Top Fuel Harley. Ryan, go. What is your you won't race it?
Oh God. A catamaran. I don't know. I wouldn't race a lawnmower. I watch guys race lawnmowers that are really fast and it just looks scary.
Okay. For the record, I would race the lawnmower. Just saying.
I'd race the shifter cart, but not the lawnmower.
Oh yeah, I'm in on that.
I wouldn't drive a Top Fuel car. You couldn't get me in one.
Oh, okay.
No,
and Aaron says, oh, I'm sorry, not Aaron. Ron says he wouldn't drive a fuel altered. Okay, so I just have to say publicly, for the record, for like the 86th and a half time, I have spelled Aaron's name incorrectly on a graphic because he spells it weird, and my brain every time goes Ron, but his is Ron, so that is going to be his new nickname, Ron. We got Ron in the house, so there you go. Today he was like, you spelled my name wrong again. I was like, damn it, man.
Fuel altered is just so squirrely, and I'm talking like the old school fuel altereds.
Yeah.
Now they have like a 7.0 class or something like that. I might strap into that. But back in the day when they were like crazy pure hell, that kind of thing, I'm like, I don't know, no suspension. The shit was all basically it was a short and funny car with a
Yeah.
sprint car wing on the top, and those guys were crazy. But Top Fuel Harley's up there too. You need to get to wear a flak jacket to go down the track, which is a real thing.
You're not allowed to sit on it to start it by the rules.
Yeah, I forgot about that
because that otherwise, when one of the pistons decides to explode and come through the cylinder head and takes your stainless steel balls off, like, wow, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. Nope. No. The other one is a front engine dragster, like a fast front engine dragster. There's no way I'm sitting on top of the rear end housing. Those guys are crazy.
If I built the rear end, I'd do it.
Yeah, there you go. They used to be, a lot of them used to be Olds rear ends and stuff. They weren't even 9-inch.
I know.
Just
well, the Olds to be fair, the Olds rear end was a 9.5-inch ring gear.
Oh yeah, it's a big, strong rear end. It just isn't the race parts we know and love today. Yeah.
Hey, look, the
word old is in it. Okay. Anytime you use the word old, it's a hard sell.
That is too good. Yeah. I'm out. Okay. Let's see. Fuel altereds. If you're looking for a good time to watch Fuel Altereds, November 14th and 15th, they're going to be at Tucson Dragway.
Ooh, nice. Love watching.
Bass Knuckler says, nope, not riding a 200 mile an hour snowmobile.
No.
So, yeah.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. Snowmobile drag racing is a big deal. They have a slick track on them.
Yes, but I didn't know they went 200.
Oh,
I've never seen one go 200. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see if anybody else have. Dude, Barn says even at his old man age, he would get on a snowmobile in a heartbeat. That's awesome.
I wouldn't race an airplane.
Oh, there you go.
No way.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I don't know. The airplane doesn't really scare me, actually. Oh. But I spent a lot of time in little airplanes. So, I don't know. I guess it depends. But like Reno air races, like that seems awesome to me. Like,
I love watching those.
Yeah.
Well, I love watching it, but I wouldn't want to be in it. I mean, I wouldn't be able to fly because all the vomit all over the cockpit window.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Okay, hold on. I'm going to remove that chingadera right there. All right, so the let me see here. Where's my list here? I had some interesting, funny things to hit tonight.
Go gadget list.
Yeah,
I shared some of the window lickers things that he posted in our chat.
Oh,
too.
did you? Oh, hold on. I'm all over that then. Oh yeah. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, he is the king of clickbait.
He is the king of clickbait. Here, I'll show you guys. This is, I mean, it's like, what in the hell's wrong with him? I mean, seriously, like, he just...
We're talking about window liquor.
Yeah. He is...
He's the godfather
of piece of work. Yeah. He is just such a piece of work. It just defies description, you know?
Well, who's worse? Him or Big Facts? Which one?
Oh.
Hey, here we go. You got Big Facts, you got this guy, and you got, let's see.
QMM's another one.
Yeah, okay. You got to fight one, friend one, and kill one. Go.
Yeah.
And he puts the logo for his race at the bottom of that. That's how tasteless this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You know what's funny is, like, here's the thing. No prep was derived from something that still thrives to this day. Radial racing came out of nowhere. It was born 20-something years ago, okay? It doesn't have near the following or the backing that no prep racing does. You can think it does all day long, but it just doesn't. Fact remains that no prep is the OGest of the OG. The rest of it's just whatever.
Exactly.
It's just a continuation of old Bakersfield street races and everything else is what it is. That's what no prep is.
Hey,
or Woodward Avenue.
In 1964 Nationals, what do those cars use for tires, and what do they usually do when they left the line?
Yeah.
They did a burnout, right? And they rode it. You know why? Because it was no prep. They didn't have prep back then. Like, come on.
I mean, look at there's a show. It's like the Brands That Built America or something like that. And part of it was muscle cars. And it had on there, and I believe it was John DeLorean, took a prototype GTO before they released it. And he was out on Woodward Avenue street racing it, seeing how well it would do against everything else. And he was kicking butt. I mean, so, I mean, that's the history, man. That's the true history, you know?
I could tell you some stories that are probably okay because the guys that were involved in doing it are now in their mid-70s or older. But just suffice it to say that there may or may not have been brand new cars off the brand new, car lot being raced on the street and on the track in Northern California in the 60s. And then put back on the lot and detailed up and sold to whoever it is that.
Good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which leads me to another thing. We need to bring back the speed shops. And when I say the speed shops, we also need the dealer modifications to come back. The Burger, the Motion, the Yanko, all that stuff was way cool back in the day. And I think that that needs to make a return.
Yeah. I like it. Unfortunately, everything is online and getting delivered fast and all that. I mean, we have nothing like that in the Dallas-Fort Worth area if Summit didn't exist. There is, for years, Smiley's was the only, speed shop, and I use the term very loosely. The reality is, without mail order, oh my God, it's so hard to build a car here. It's so hard to build a car here without mail order.
Unless you know about the Honey Hull and Garland. There's a Honey Hull and Garland called Pro
Which
Street
one?
Pro Street Performance. It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
And they carry so much stuff, but nobody ever knows about it. It's old.
Yeah,
or ET, not Pro Street. ET Performance. My bad.
Yeah, ET. Yeah, ET. Yes. And that place, nobody has known about that place ever. They were always the best kept secret kind of deal. It was like, if you didn't know, they don't advertise out of 5 blocks around their place. Like, I swear to God.
Yeah, and you would drive past it and never even see it right there in that
absolutely.
And it's not everything.
Oh yeah, they did the roll cage in Dad's Nova, if I remember right. So
that Smith Racecraft. That's about it. I mean, Smith Racecraft, you can pull up to it and think that you've come to an abandoned building.
Right.
And you go inside and you're like,
they're but then again, they're a chassis builder. They're not like, you're not going to, it's not a speed shop in the sense that you're going to go in there and, be able to look at all kinds of parts and pull off, anything off the shelf. Again,
pick
if
up
you
a
don't
blower,
go to Summit,
pick
you
up
don't
a blower
have
belt
right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's the bad part, but it is what it is,
Other thing that, sorry, I'm going to hijack you, Chad.
Sure.
Have you been following some of the deregulation of the EPA?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of that. And And unless Trump completely demolishes the Constitution and becomes our king, and there is never another presidential election, all those things are temporary. So they just don't matter to me in the grand scheme of things because it's
Yeah.
not changing anything. The manufacturers are not going to go backwards on emissions. They are not. I have talked to them about it. That ain't going to happen, period. No way, no how. It can't. It cannot. There is just no way. So, my 2 cents.
I can hope.
Stupid.
I can hope.
Yeah.
Using DEF fluid and having an EGR on a diesel truck are the two stupid things I've ever heard of. So
I agree with you on that. I agree.
You know-
There
you
is
know what the
absolutely no doubt.
You know what the EPA stands for, right?
What?
I can't say it on here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. I can imagine, though.
put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
It's a bag of icks.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
The,
Sorry, I'll let you get back to your list.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll let you get back to your list.
Do you think that the changes in any of the EPA regulations, do you think that it has a long-term effect on our industry or no?
In regards to specifically diesel trucks, it does, because if you look at how much the diesel performance market was thriving before the EPA started becoming Nazis and shutting all these guys down and fining them up to millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, to the fact that if you look back, and I mean, this has probably been 3-4 years ago, the guy in Delaware, I think it was, that went to sell his truck personally on Marketplace, said it was deleted, and the EPA basically told him, you either scrap your truck or we're seizing your truck and fining you.
Right.
And that was a real thing. That
Yeah.
wasn't, I mean, and it comes back to, and I'll take this a step further. I mean, because we're automotive, but this matters. So the farmers went after John Deere for the right to repair and modify, because John Deere was locking down all their computers and systems, and basically they had to hire a low boy to get their combine back to the Deere facility to get it looked at when it had error codes and this, and they won that lawsuit. This has been a couple of years ago, and it was a major stepping stone of the manufacturers not being able to lock everything up in the computer, and the right to modify, the right to repair. And that was a big stepping stone.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to the EPA, I mean, I've heard stories of there being sniffers on the side of highways for diesel trucks, and
Oh,
I mean,
that's
I've heard
a totally normal thing. I've seen it literally thousands of times in my life. You've never
Yep.
seen that?
Never seen the box.
I've heard it's out by DFW. They have them, but I've never seen it.
California, even Arizona, actually, Nevada, Colorado, here in Texas.
Set
Yeah,
them
they're
right on the
usually
entrance
in
ramp.
freeway off ramps and on ramps.
Yep.
And it literally is a sniff thing and some cones and whatever, and you drive by, and it's testing to see how much worse is the emissions as you're driving by when you're under throttle, right? Because you're accelerating to get on the freeway is, basically it. So, but I agree with you on the diesel side of things, but I will tell you one thing, that I believe that the reason that the diesel truck market got targeted so bad is because they're too fucking stupid to keep their mouths shut. And pardon the French, but if all you do is show videos of rolling coal all the time, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
And quite
visually,
frankly, you
optics.
deserve anything you get because you're too stupid to know better, right? So Darwinism, we need the theory of evolution is wonderful. We need
What's
you
that?
to evolve yourself right off the goddamn planet.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, in a clean tune can make power, and you're not rolling coal.
I
Okay,
agree wholeheartedly.
you might
I
be aware.
agree. Yes, 100% agree. I
Yeah.
spent a week in one not long ago, and yeah, tiny puff of smoke here and there, not a big deal, right? 10 miles to the gallon better than with the DEF system on it, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm 100%. I support the fact that DEF isn't necessarily the right choice. However, if everybody in the diesel community, or if the most visible and most heard people are the crowd that is rolling coal, then they are the ones that are causing you to get the attention. Now, here's the thing that we're lucky about is that they've been the target, okay? Because the reality is that regardless of what the emissions laws are in your state, okay, unless other changes come about to say otherwise, it is illegal to remove or modify any emissions control device on any vehicle that came with it. So here's the thing. Every late model car that has long tubes and no cats on it, anywhere in the country, regardless of what your state does with testing, is illegal. It is illegal to be operated on public roads in the United States of America, period. Okay? Now, again, your state may not enforce it, right? But here's the analogy I've given for a long time. So if your state didn't bother to chase down robbers who robbed banks, right? But it's still a federal crime. Are you going to rob a bank and live stream the whole thing? If your answer is yes, eat a bullet, please. Okay? And otherwise, no, you're not going to do that, right? Nobody in their right mind would, but none of you people are in your right mind. I am telling you that you don't have to video or post everything you've ever done, for the love of God. Like, Jesus Christ, people, how have we become this stupid? You know, I mean, literally, detectives nowadays, 75% of their work is, let me look and see if they put video of it on Facebook.
Oh,
Yep,
here it is.
click, you're done. I mean, come
Looking
on.
nano.
Here's
You know what I mean?
here's my and it's federally, man. I'm not going to disagree with anything you said, Chad, because you're 100% right. But here's my hold up, especially with diesel trucks in the EPA. So you take whatever brand diesel truck you want, you delete it, you get it tuned. Let's say you don't have a roll coal program, you have a clean program,
Right.
which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
you add
A
like 100
Gale Bank style tune will use.
Yeah, you got like an extra
all
100
about no smoke. Yeah.
100 horsepower extra, and you magically pick up, we'll just say somewhere between 6 to 10 miles per gallon. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a diesel truck is not like your, well, I won't use Honda Accords because they go for freaking 250,000 miles. Your diesel truck, if properly maintained, will go 300 to 500,000 miles
Right.
without a rebuild of the engine.
Yes.
Over the life of that vehicle, the amount that you're constraining the miles per gallon and the fuel consumption, is it really worth it?
Right.
My truck,
No,
has almost 320,000 miles on it. It's an 08 Dodge. It gets
and it'll run for another 300 easily.
It's a dually crew cab, so it's heavy. It gets 22 miles a gallon empty, driving it at a reasonable speed. Okay.
Right.
Of course, Texas roads, we don't drive at reasonable speed, so it gets a little bit less than that. But I mean, I look at it over the life of a vehicle. How much more is it? The decrease of the usage of the diesel fuel itself, does it offset? And that's always been my argument. And I don't know. I mean, the problem is like you said, there's too many window lickers out there that post stupid videos.
That is exactly right.
We should have more
Because
natural selection.
your math, if you did the math, I am absolutely certain that, by here's the thing. Let's say you have a diesel truck that gets 25 miles to the gallon versus 15 miles to the gallon. You need to take how much emissions is that thing putting out per mile, quote unquote, right? And go, okay, that, with DEF, it's this much, without DEF, it's this much. And you look at what, I have a feeling because you're using less fuel over a certain distance that the emissions are going to be way closer than people, would like to admit in the EPA side of things. Now, if somebody could show me that that's not the case, okay, let's look at it, right? But the problem is that nobody trusts anything that the EPA says because we've made them out to be the bad guy and we have no relationship with them. But again, and I've said this ad infinitum as well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like them or you don't like them, you cannot beat them. It doesn't matter what Trump does or anybody else. Remember this. The EPA's whole mandate is to make sure that you and your children and your grandchildren and future generations have clean air and clean water. How do you get holier than that? You don't. From a PR perspective, you cannot beat them. You cannot make them into the bad guys.
Yes, you
cannot.
can.
How?
I'm about to right now.
Okay.
If you work for the EPA, you are nothing more than that little nerdy snitch that sat in the back of the classroom and always ratted people out for shit they were doing because you were a douchebag that weren't cool enough to hang out with the good people. And I hate you, and you look like a Karen, and you're stupid, and your career choices suck. And I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with yourself that you've made a career of being a little whiny bitch because you had to drive a Volvo to school while all the dudes that were getting chicks were driving Chevelles and Novas and S10s with V8 swaps. So you can KMA, EPA. How about that?
There you go.
I hate those
Give
people.
them some. I love it. Okay, here's one. Shart Pampers. Amazing name, by the way. Says same thing happened in the 70s with the emissions crap on gas burners. Fuel mileage suffered across the board when compression ratios were lowered and cats plugged up the exhaust. So that really less of an issue than most people make it out to be, but I get what you're saying. Okay, you are right. However, I would say this. It has never been possible in the history of the automotive industry to buy a more powerful vehicle than you can buy today. As much as I want to romanticize my 69 Camaro, it paled in every single analytical measure to a 2024 Camaro, right? I mean, the most base model 2024 Camaro was quicker and faster in a quarter mile than probably every Camaro available in 1969, which saddens me, but it's probably true. And so my point is, we have made incredible strides. Catalytic converters are great, and they don't hurt horsepower. They make things a little quieter, but they have almost no impact on performance now. And
shout out to meth heads.
Emissions. Yeah, exactly. And so there's no problem with those. Do I wish we could have long tubes in the cats? You can, you just aren't legal on your late model thing, and that's just because the cat's in the wrong place. But I would argue that, in my opinion, what we should require from an emissions standpoint, this has always been my opinion, literally for 20 plus years, is that whatever the factory emission standard is for that vehicle, we should have to abide by that. And if at any point our vehicle is tested, it needs to meet that. But there is no regulation on what components need to be on the car to do that. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see where only the sniffer matters, and not any of the other bullshit.
I
That's
think it's
not what
two.
we do.
I think it's twofold. Now they do the OD2 check, but it's also they. You got to take into account, Chad, that in the last 20 years, okay, I'll just say 20 years because it's a good round number.
Yeah.
It is so much easier to make horsepower
Oh
than it
yeah.
was in 2005. Okay.
Way.
Let's just go
Yes.
back. Let's just go back to the Fortune Camaro ended in 2002, and it had
Yes.
340 horsepower with the V8 or something like that,
Right.
for the SP, something like that.
Right.
Now, I mean, when they came out with the 5th gen, the V6 made 300 horsepower.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it's so much easier with technology and airflow and heads and how they understand it, and the fast burn chambers and all this stuff. The technology's caught up. And so I agree with you. So if I had my 79 Camaro, right? My 79 Camaro meets 79 Camaro emission standards, which it's exempt because it's so old, but we'll call something out that's newer, say 2010 Camaro, right? If it meets the emission standards on a sniffer test, but it has twin turbos on it, it shouldn't matter. But here's the caveat. Here's the caveat of that. You're 2 keystrokes away from it not meeting the standards and making more power.
That's true. That is absolutely true as well.
Look, when you talk about how do you get rid of the EPA, I have an idea. It just came to me while you guys were talking about this. This whole time I've been scheming together a pinky in the brain way to get rid of the EPA. All right, you ready? This is how you get rid of the EPA. You do like I do. You teach your children that there is absolutely zero government entity that could ever give 2 shits about you or your future. The only thing they care about is lining their pockets. And if they are in the pockets of the oil companies and the cars are getting shitty fuel mileage, they're getting paid. And they do not care. They sell themselves on the fact that they care about our air and our drinking water. But if that was the case, why are we eating the shit food that causes everybody to get cancer? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we worry about what we eat instead of what we breathe? So hopefully in the next 30 years, people start building a bunch of, kids that go, you know what? I only listen to punk rock, the hell with the freaking system. And then in the next 30 years, 40 years, the EPA just ceased to exist because no one cares about their drinking water or air. Because they all realize we're all still here breathing and living on the little planet Earth.
Well, I will tell you that the all of the changes that have happened, right, in the last 40 years, right? As far as emissions go, they've made a huge impact, right? But there are always other factors. You are 100% right, Ryan. So, I rented you saw it, a 2500 crew cab Dodge Ram pickup truck to pull a small 7x14 enclosed trailer that only weighed 3,500 pounds on Mega Week. And that thing pulling that little enclosed trailer couldn't average 8 miles to the gallon.
You had to stop more than we did.
Yes, I did. The LSS 10 with no overdrive.
And a trailer behind it.
Significantly better. Yeah, significantly better mileage.
You had to have a gas. You have gasser or diesel?
It was a gasser. That was all. That's what they rent at Hertz, right? So here's my point, though. So I believe that they sell them with a gas engine for somebody that still wants a Dodge and can't afford to do the Cummins, right? Mm-hmm. But that they have done them that way so shitty so that everybody will buy the Cummins, which, is funny too, because the Cummins is the worst mileage of the 3 main manufacturers' diesels, right? The Cummins gets worse mileage. Pardon me?
From the factory.
Yes, from the factory. It's the worst mileage of the, between them and a Power Stroke and a Duramax. And that's not a judgment. I don't care. They're a great engine. Everybody knows that. But here's the thing. If they can give you a gas burner that, I mean, all the power in the world, it would pull anything, right? It just wouldn't do it with any kind of mileage. If they know that they're like, oh, dude, you can get, 6 miles to the gallon, 7 miles to the gallon better while pulling this trailer, then guys are like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, I want to get it. The math actually might make sense with a Cummins. The math does not make sense for 99.9999% of the people that buy a Power Stroke or a Duramax. The upcharge for the diesel does not make sense. You will never make it back, ever. Okay? But on a Cummins, it might. Dodge might actually be, a Ram, whatever the hell you want to call them, might actually be onto something now. So, but that thing literally for Mega Week, I spent $1,100 on fuel.
Now, we didn't consume as much as you, but we spent double as much because of all the damn VP additive. 91 octane. God.
Yeah. There you
I spent $2,300 on fuel that week.
So my last trip to the racetrack with my 40-foot enclosed, my truck, and we're in Texas, we're going 75 miles an hour even with a 40-foot trailer behind me.
Oh, yeah.
We averaged 13.5 miles per gallon.
Yeah. Yeah. See? And that thing weighed real weight.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 7 V-nose, 7 foot wide, 14 feet long, but 8.5 foot tall. Oh, and not only was it 8.5 feet tall, it was 8.5 feet tall at the tall part, but it actually was the droop nose. It was the one where the V is actually angled, so it's even more aero. And it was like, you want me to go 70 or 75 in all the, in whatever 8th gear? No. Nope. I'm going to have to go down 1 gear, and then I'll go all day long at 3,500, and watch me the gas. I mean, it was like,
dude, here's the thing. This is the thing that gets me. Since we're on the topic of government regulation,
right,
and overpriced BS crap they sell anymore, riddle me this, Batman. Okay, so what is one of probably the most leading vehicles sold in the U.S.? Probably a larger family car, right? Because most people have families, right? So you have an SUV or van, right?
Right.
Riddle me this, Batman. It's 2024. I have a EcoBoost, Super Ford spent billions of dollars to build this program for a more efficient engine and more efficient this, that, and the other. And it's got plenty of power. I mean, I can go get it up on the highway, lickety split.
Right.
It gets the worst freaking fuel mileage I've ever had in my life.
Right.
My Power Stroke got better fuel mileage than that thing.
No way.
If I it gets 16 on a good day, maybe 17. And if I put a trailer behind it, I'm 9.5.
Yeah. Okay, now I will say that I just filled my new OBS Suburban the other day, right?
Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, it's nice. Dude. It's really nice.
You didn't send me a picture.
I did not. I forgot.
I'll send it to the wrong Aaron, didn't you?
Yeah.
Probably.
I sent it to AHRA instead of ARRA. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'll put it up here in a minute. So where was I? Oh, so I checked the mileage on the Suburban, and it was funny because it got 13.5 miles to the gallon average, and I was driving arguably as much in town as I was on the highway. So I was actually pretty impressed with that. But yeah, the Suburban gets what your, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's got a TDI 350 in it, and it got, it only made 230 horsepower new, and
bro, yeah, and you spent how much on it?
$9,000.
Okay, so let's take that 9. Go ahead and add 74 to it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 2020. What year is it?
2025.
No. What year is yours?
Oh, 95.
Okay, 95, 2025, 30-year gap.
Yeah.
10-speed transmission. Oh,
True.
10-speed. It's so more efficient. It's got 10 overdrives in it. I can cruise down the highway at 80 miles an hour at only 1,800 RPMs. It doesn't make it's still a brick in the wind. You stupid jackass motherfuckers. It's not worth a damn penny. They swindled me. They got me with the pleather seats and the
And how much did that thing cost new?
Fucking $80,000.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Ford Motor Credit's gonna be jamming that thing in my ass for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you're gonna go buy one of these piles of shit anymore, right? They're gonna with the interest rate, but it's cool. They'll stretch it out to damn 10 years now. I want you to know that.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a fool, but
Right.
they're like, yeah, we can stretch this thing out to almost 10 years. I'm like, who that thing's not gonna be alive in 10 years. It's produced by the window-licking fucktards of today.
Dude,
new V8 Jeeps are over $100,000. You want a heavy Jeep? Over $100,000. Look it up.
Wow.
Hey, and everybody's like, hey, everybody said the house doing this. They're like, oh, let me get my mail out today. Jesus Christ, how much is my car insurance? Yeah. Because not only are they that expensive, but then you got the retards behind the wheel driving them.
Yeah.
That is clean.
Yeah, it's got fresh paint on it. It's
I hate the wheels.
Me
I'll
too.
be honest.
Yep.
I don't like. I've gotten to where I don't like torque thrusts on anything. They've just been overdone.
These are not torque thrusts, but they look like them. They play them on TV. I like torque thrusts on certain stuff, but they're not. It's a good looking truck. There are some changes going to get made. It has brand new paint. The interior is clean. It's got 184,000 miles, 350, all that. I have the window sticker. I have everything. It needs a stereo. It needs some little tweaks here and there. It's going to get lower. It needs to be an inch or so lower, which is going to require different wheels because the fronts will rub if I lower it more. I'm going to replace it has lowered leaf springs in the rear, which is all fine, except in a Suburban, I'm not a big fan. They're just not under enough of a load. So you got to have so much shock in the thing to control it. It does not have a notch yet in the back, and it needs one because it bottoms out. Not all the time, but it will. So it's going to get factory leaves, a flip kit, a notch in the rear, and then a bigger drop spring in the front, so that it's like a 4.6 or a 5.7. I have a console to put in it. It has the factory console, but I'm going to put a later console in it. And
cow hood.
Yeah, stereo. The AC blows cold. It runs like it's brand new.
Those trucks look really good with a cow hood on them. They do.
I do, but it's got fresh paint, so I'm not gonna. It's too pretty to like.
Yeah, but if it's fresh paint, it's easy to match.
Well, that's true. That is true. I am gonna do some pinstripe on it. Like, teal and gray is like totally, perfect for that thing or whatever. And it needs, well, it doesn't need anything other than the stereo, but I'm going to do some little things. Like, it has all brand new lights. I'm going to end up putting a smoothie front bumper on it, and a billet grill and that kind of stuff. I'm going to do a smoothie bumper in the rear also. A couple little things. Did you know you can no longer buy a hidden hitch? The hidden hitch company does not exist anymore.
Wow.
Not the original hidden hitches. You cannot buy them anymore.
What's wrong with this world, man?
Now you're not gonna do like the '90s billet grill, right?
Well, the 90s billet
Phantom.
grill was just the little billet strips. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No, he's talking about the Phantom. The
Oh,
high-
no, not the one that covers the headlights and all that. No.
Okay.
Just the one that's a billet insert into the factory chrome grill.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
And then it's what else was I gonna do up front? I can't remember.
A visor?
Ooh, neon pink
No.
heartbeat stripe. Yes.
Oh,
with the driver.
I'm gonna do.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of thing that it's gonna get as a '90s pinstripe treatment, and then it needs exhaust. I mean, the exhaust is fine; it's just stock, and it drives me insane. The tip might as well hang out 8 feet. That's what it looks like to me, even though it just barely hangs out the quarter panel. It's horrible to me. I'm gonna probably put a one of those 12-volt refrigerators in the back of it, so that for get it all wired up for an inverter and all that stuff, so that when we're doing road trips, you don't have to have the cooler full of ice. You just got the electric one back there. Oh, I know.
Get with me on that. I got a line for those.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna get with Power Master. They're one of our advertisers on Bang Shift. I'm gonna get with them to do a bigger alternator for it and to replace the starter. The starter on this thing, I thought we had a loose battery cable, tightened all those up. About every 5th time you start it, it goes click, click, and you sit there and click it a couple of times and then it cranks over. So, and the battery's good, I know that. So I'm going to put a starter and an alternator in it. Because I'm going to put stereo in it, I'll put more alternator in it. And if we're going to have the cooler and that kind of stuff, so yeah, it should be good.
Twin kicker 12s and,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah. It'll have lots of stereo, and that's how I roll. So, but it'll be good. It is. I mean, I bought it from guys that bought it from the original owner and painted it and then flipped it. But
does it have the third row?
Yeah, it's third row. It's gray interior. Here, I'll show you the interior as well.
No, it's a clean rig for sure.
Yeah, it's it's clean. The carpet is clean, but it's also 30 years old. I'm going to, because I need to wire it for stereo and all that anyway, I'm going to pull the seats out. The seats are beautiful. I'm going to pull all the seats out of it, pull the carpet out of it, and shampoo the entire carpet. And if I can get it to where it's as clean as I want it, then I'm going to leave it and use the factory carpet, because aftermarket carpet will never fit as good. And if not, then I'll go to ACC or one of them.
I'll give you a tip there.
Kit. Yeah.
Contact a household shampooing company and have them do it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because they will do a much better job than you can with anything that you can rent or borrow or steal.
Yeah. So like Stanley Steamer or one of
those.
those.
Yeah, exactly. Stanley Steamer. Have them do it. If you see one of the guys in your neighborhood or whatever else, basically be like, hey, dude, can you do this on a Saturday? And I toss you $100 because it's only going to be, 8 square feet. And
right. And I mean, and it really will be, because the carpet in these is 2-piece. So there's a rear and the front. I'm actually not going to put the rear back in. I'm going to put a replacement rubber floor for the rear, so that the area where the third row goes and everything will be the rubber floor. It's just more durable. It's just nicer for, throwing stuff in the back. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So we'll see.
Yeah. Just call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Do you have a coupon code for them as well, or what?
Hashtag hate the EPA. Get you 20% off every time.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, all right, boys. I think that was a heck of a show tonight. I love everybody that tuned in and gave us their 2 cents as well. Now we do. But we did forget our quick tech segment. So
Oh.
can we do that pretty quick there, Aaron?
We can.
Okay.
And
We are Driveline tech segment.
so this is
Ding.
if you have, say, your OBS
Yeah.
pickup truck, and say you wanted to put a 9-inch rear end in it. This is completely backwards to a lot of people, and companies like Mosier, Strange, even Curry, they ask for way too many questions. They do. When it comes to building a rear end, what you need to decide is where your wheel placement is. So you buy your wheels for say you buy new wheels for that Suburban. You put your wheels up underneath there. This is where my wheels are going to sit. You measure inside a wheel to inside a wheel. That's your wheel mounting surface. Okay.
Yeah, and just so you know, measuring inside a wheel to inside a wheel requires you to just put a tape measure through the center of the wheel, as in the little hole in the middle, all the way to the other wheel, and have somebody hold it there, and you'll be able to pull it and get an exact measurement right there to the edge.
And make sure that the wheels are straight.
Yes.
So if you get that, the second thing you have to decide in this whole equation is your brake kit. So we'll just say, for argument's sake, that you're using a Wilwood brake kit, which uses a 250 thick hat.
Yes.
Which means that now your axle mounting flange is going to be a 1/2 inch narrower than what your wheel mounting surface is, because you have to take 250 per side, right?
Yes, because you're adding the rotors on. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so now you have your axle flange to axle flange. Your hangout distance is typically 2.5 outside the housing dimension. That's the normal hangout dimension.
Right. That
so
from the bearing mount surface to the axle flange surface. Yes.
Correct. So to move it further, depending on the vehicle you're working with, it's going to be a 2 5/8 offset, or it could be a 1/2 inch offset or 5/8 offset for the pinion itself. Any housing manufacturer already knows that for your specific application. So if you talk to somebody intelligent at a housing company that's building you a 9-inch housing, you should be able to give them the wheel mounting surface, what brake kit you're using, and they should be able to build you a housing that will go directly in your vehicle.
Yep.
That is your tech tip. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to measure your pinion offset. Don't try to do any of the other crap. They have a database of this stuff. The salesmen are just being lazy.
And so what you're saying is, use that as one of the things that helps you decide which place you're going to use to build your rear end.
Correct.
If they're asking you for 800 different things, they're not the right place to be buying for you.
Correct.
And so, for example, when you used to be the grand poobah of quick performance, and I needed a rear end for my 56 Chevy, you said, okay, I need to just know how much you want off of each side for the placement of your wheels, where you're going to go. And I can't remember now, but I think we landed on like 2.5 inches per side or what have you. And there was, like you said, what brake kit are you doing? And, because I was changing everything, it was not hard. It was a 5-minute conversation.
Yes. And I don't sell housings. I mean, Quick sells housing. They do a great job at it. And the salesmen up there are really good about it. But, it shouldn't be difficult. You shouldn't have to take 20 different measurements, everything else. And it's always backwards to somebody when you tell them, get your wheels first, put them underneath your vehicle, get your wheel mounting surface, select your brakes. We can do everything else. Because based off of the housing calculator, you can basically figure out passenger side axle is always a long axle, driver side axle is a short axle. This is a spline. I mean, you can calculate everything else off that. And these guys just make it, and they're old companies and they're good companies. Okay, Strange, Mosier, Curry, they're all great companies. Quick's a good company too. But Quick has mastered, and I didn't mean this to be a shout out to them, but shout out to them. Right. They've mastered it, making it simple.
Right. And also, I think here's one important thing to bring up about that too, because whether it's them or it's Curry or it's Mosier or Strange or any of them, they all offer bolt-in housings, right? For a ton of different applications. And with rare exception, it is not worth buying a bare housing and then putting your own bracketry on it and all of those things if it's going into a stock application. Like, if you're going to hang 4 link brackets on and do all kinds of custom, frame rail width, sure. But if you're looking for a rear end to bolt into a Fox Body Mustang or an S10 or a OBS Chevy pickup, then pick the one that already has the stuff to bolt right in, because you cannot buy the mounts or cut them off an old housing or any of that and then weld them on and do all that stuff and get it as well done as they are going to do it for any less money. And
Right.
it's just worth spending the money to then spend your time on something that is a better use of your time than trying to jig up brackets on an axle housing.
Well, I'll give you an experience from 2 weeks ago. I have a local guy, helped him get a 9-inch housing. He's putting a 4-bar. He's converting a Blazer from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive. And this is a super clean Blazer. I'll send you pictures. So he's got a 4-bar that he bought from Speedway, and he's got it mocked up in there. And he doesn't. Anytime you put a 4-link or a 4-bar in, you automatically start with 3-degree down pinion angle when you start.
Right.
I mean, you can adjust it a lot, anyways, but you typically only try to start with about a third out on any of the heims. You don't try to go halfway. So he already went halfway. His weld-in bungs, he tacked them to the tube, but he left an 1/8-inch gap thinking that's what he needed to weld. And I'm like, well, no, you need to cut those all the way up because they're chamfered. Because if you're going to weld right now, you're going to heat up those threads and they're going to go up and you're not going to be able to adjust your bars. Right. There's a lot more to it. And of course he went to YouTube University. And so YouTube is a great, I mean, I wish I had YouTube years ago.
Alumni.
I'm with you. It's great.
But it's garbage in, garbage out. Also, there's so many hacks out there that I did this, and he did his frame notch, and it wasn't bad, but it needs some diamond gussets, and I had to explain what diamond gussets are and how they spread load. And I mean, I spent 2 hours in his shop basically going over this build and saying you need to change this to this and this to this, and by the way, you got 600-pound springs in the front of this thing, and it's going to ride like a rock.
Right.
Well, that's what they spec'd out by X company. I'm like, the spring just holds up the vehicle. The shock does the work. And so, I mean, it's just, there's so much bad information out there about building rear ends and cars and everything else. But there's a ton of good. I mean, if you look at like McCamus videos, videos are awesome. I mean,
at multiple levels. Yes.
Window licking tards.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I would recommend his videos to anybody when it comes to, he goes over chassis building and everything else. And he doesn't have to do those videos because he's running the business and he provides way more information than he actually needs to. David Vassar at Nitrous Outlet, he's another one who provides a lot more information than he needs to.
Absolutely.
And he probably provides information to his competitors. But and I told my friend, his name's Monty. I said, if you're going to watch YouTube videos, watch 3 different ones from 3 different people. And if they all do the same thing, you're probably pretty good. Right. But don't find the first video, watch it and be like, bingo, that's what we need to do.
Yeah. So, well, and also, if you are not a fabricator or you don't want to be one or you don't have any skill, yes, you can learn a lot of different things. There's no doubt. I firmly believe most people can be taught to weld sufficiently and all those things. But if you have somebody in your town that can do the work for you and will do it at a reasonable cost, then you should look for them. I mean, my buddy Vince Rui's on here right now with but fab guys are too expensive. I can tell you that I know what he's charged for some of the roll cages that he's done for drag and drive folks, and it's unbelievable how reasonably priced he is when you look at the quality that you are getting. right? I have seen cheaper roll cages that look way, 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 way cheaper. And I have seen more expensive roll cages that look maybe not as good or as good. But his is, I mean, really nice work. And again, at a reasonable price. So ask around, find out,
Mhm.
look at other people's projects, see what they've spent. Because sometimes it's better for you to spend the money. And other
Well,
times it may not be. And I'm the guy that has no money. So, trust me, I'm the guy that's doing it all myself because of that fact, so,
anybody can lay a bead on a bench.
oh yeah,
They can I can TIG weld on a bench. Okay.
yeah,
I can't TIG weld a cage standing on my head with the pedal between my legs,
yeah,
squeezing it. And
yep,
that's why I had Tynan race cars redo my
yeah,
Camaro.
yep,
I mean, it's because I I can do the top weld. I can't do the blind weld. And that's
right,
what a lot of fabricators can't get right is that blind weld. And I will say that I saw an OG Street Outlaw car when they re-chassied it, and I
yeah,
won't say which one, but I was
that was scary.
shocked how many of the welds were not complete on that
Yeah.
chassis sitting on a trailer.
That
I mean, shocked. And for one of the
it's
faster
legal.
cars,
That's the problem is that
it
it's
wasn't
legal.
gusseted. It wasn't gusseted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's, NHRA has a requirement for how much of the weld must be complete with and without a gusset. And I cannot, it all has to be welded. There cannot be a gap. But, oh my God, I mean, but I've seen it, so I believe you 100%. I
I
believe
can
you.
send you pictures later. I won't post them on the
Yeah.
internet, but I'll send you
Oh,
pictures.
God, no.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Vince says everybody wants to be a welder till it's time to do welder shit. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
until you get that hot spark that goes down your crotch. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, and so what's funny about that? So I learned to weld literally when I was, a little kid. Okay, like 4 years old. Okay, 5 years old. I still have the first thing I welded, and I stick welded it. I grew up welding all the time, but I was in my 20s before, or no, I was 19 before I ever MIG welded. Okay. I had done all my welding with stick welding because that's what we did because we built fences and barns and buildings and all that kind of stuff, right? So I also, though, did overhead stick welding, okay, at
Oof.
14 years old, like lots of it showered with sparks. Just
That's why you don't have any
showered
hair.
with sparks. Yeah. And it was like, so I have no, like, zero fear or hesitation or anything of sparks flying, right? But I mean, a lot of people, that's the biggest thing they have a problem with, right? I firmly believe that that's why so many people take up TIG welding is because now you can buy a TIG machine cheap when they used to be thousands of dollars and there's no sparks. If you're doing it right with a TIG, there's no sparks. Um, but dude, I mean, all forever. I mean, and I'm not like I've been welding longer than anybody probably, but I'm not saying it like I'm the best welder because I have friends who are unbelievable welders, right? I'm a good welder. I don't weld every day like I used to, but there have been times in my life, literally years of my life, where I welded every day, because that was what my job was to weld. And I welded. I built all kinds of stuff. And
Just
man,
like hiring the professional tuner
yeah,
to tune your car.
yep,
There's a time and place that
yep,
can I do it or should I do it?
Hey.
correct.
And if you're
And
not good at welding, that's when you hire a professional grinder.
Yeah. My grandpa used to say, you can be a welder or a grinder. That was what he always used to say.
I'm a grinder.
It's not true, but yeah. God.
Been making welds look good since 2006, bud.
Yeah,
That's when I started my grinding career.
that's awesome. All right, boys. Well, as always, thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. We do appreciate it, and all the comments, the questions, and everything else. If you have a topic that you'd like us to cover, something that you'd like us to talk about, you can message me on Facebook or email me, chad@bangshift.com, and we'll take your stories, your ideas, whatever you got. We'll take them.
Yes. And if it's things about the EPA, we will crush them.
They're going to raid my house tonight. That's what's going to happen. But it was Ryan. It was Ryan.
They'll never find me.
Son of
Find
a
out where
bitch.
you
The company logo's behind me. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly. I know, we're so screwed.
Oh, I gotta go.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Good night, guys.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see
Later,
you next
guys.
time. See ya.